Hello and welcome to the Full-Time Devils Takeover, the phone-in show, which is very simple. You lead the chat for the next half an hour. We need you to call us 0345 111 7625. Come and have your say. Quick little bullet points here of what we want to talk about. The boys are back in training. Who are you excited to see? And who out of the ones that have come back from loan, Pereira, Fosu-Mensah, etc., do you think will have an impact in the first team? The World Cup, obviously, England are out, but what boys really impressed you in the England squad for United? And Paul Pogba, will he be lifting the World Cup? As well as Pereira, we want to know, anyone watched him in La Liga? What was he like over there? Was he any good? Will he make an impact in United's first 11? It's not just me, I'm a Todd. It is the wonderful Webby, and Sam will be here for the next half an hour. Gentlemen, good evening. Just a call to action. Make sure you give us a call nice and early so we get you on. Only on for half an hour. 0345 111 7625. Give us a call, get on air. It's local charges, so don't worry about the extra fees. 0345 111 7625. Come and have your say. Gentlemen, I think we can only start one way, and that is by looking at Manchester United's players in last night's game. England, unfortunately, out. But what did you make of Rashford, Lingard, etc., Webby?
Me and Sam were speaking off air before. Obviously, Sam's a lot passionate about England than me. He said, he agreed with me straight away by saying they wasn't good enough. You know, you look at their players there. You've got world class players. We've got good players, haven't we, Sam? We've got good players. We've not got world class players.
Those good players last night were bang average.
Yes,
when they needed to be at the top.
What about the United ones? What about Young, Lingard? Did they
Young's probably been the best out of the bunch.
Ashley Young for me and Lukaku have probably been United's best players for the tournament, and probably United's worst player, but only by his own standards, is probably David De Gea.
David De Gea. Is hard because he sort of let himself down in the penalty shot, but kind of not really his fault. I mean, penalties are difficult to really get right. Do you think anyone else has let themselves down in the World Cup?
Going back to the penalties, I always remember the final against Arsenal at Cardiff. Roy Carroll in nets. We absolutely destroyed Arsenal in the game. We never got near one penalty. We got beat 5-4 on penalties. Now, for me, De Gea, has he saved that many penalties for United? I don't think he has. You know, it's an hard thing. Most of it's low.
It's like you say, Joe, because of his position and because of what he's got in front of him, you're not going to see much of him anyway. Mm-hmm. The little bit he had to do by his own standards, which are right at the top, I thought he could have done better.
Yeah.
It's difficult. Yeah. Right, we want to get to the phones because obviously you guys want to call. We want to talk about a variety of things, so we'll make sure that you lead the conversation today. 0345 111 7625. We got Pursue on the line. You okay, mate?
Hello, guys. How are you guys doing?
Very, very well, mate. You want to start talking about the tour because now that the World Cup is done, you want to start talking about Manchester United going to America.
Yeah, and I like to say I felt bad as well. I was supporting England as well. They should have.
Supporting England. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we aren't in the final. You know,
Yeah. But we had our chances. We didn't take it. Unfortunate. Anyway, the first point I wanted to make was actually about these deadwood in the team. That was the first thing, even before the USA tour. Why are we delaying on the Darmian and the Blind deals? This is really serious.
It's hard, don't it? Because they're on contracts there, and it's getting the right move for both parties. You know, obviously United want as much money as possible for them. I can understand your point of view, but at this present moment, with the players what have been to the World Cup, I think these two might have to go at the start of the tour just to make the numbers up. You know, we're taking a few kids already. I think the sponsors would be a bit upset if. Well, I'm not saying they're decent players because they're not good enough to be anywhere near my club, but I think they'll have to go. I can understand what you're saying about them going, but I think the Ajax is a very close one now. We was talking about before. With Blind, it's very close. Hopefully that'll go over the line. Obviously, Darmian, it's a bit strange. There's plenty of top teams wanting, but no one's throwing any money at the moment.
But Deadwood for you, Sam, at Old Trafford. Is anyone in the squad that you don't think deserves their place next season for United, and maybe they should look to offload them?
Where do you want me to start?
You start from the top.
Basically, probably Luke Shaw would probably be the first one, but only because of the treatment he's had from the manager. I don't think his confidence will get back to how he was before he broke his leg. everybody knows I'm a lover of Fellaini. I wouldn't want him to go. He's probably the worst footballer we've got at Old Trafford, but he's the most effective. He does his job. The Martial, he doesn't want to play for the club. He doesn't want to play for the shirt. He can go. There's plenty more fish in the sea.
Well, I mean, Martial, what would you say to that, Webby?
I'll be disappointed after thinking it was a lot of agent talk. Obviously, the agent talks. The agent makes money when he moves. Let's see, Sam. We know he's got the ability. He's going to get the games. He's got to be prepared to fight for it. Now, I do feel sorry because it has affected him since Sanchez come to the club. You know, his start time. But on his day,
he's not the only one who's been affected either, is he?
Oh, he's not the only one.
Since
but
Sanchez come to the club, i.e. Rashford.
Well, I'm hoping for the big start from Sanchez. He's had no World Cup. He's had a nice few months off. Batteries recharged. He always started off well at Arsenal. Then, obviously, if you look at his record to the second half of the season, it was always nowhere near the first time. I'm expecting big things from him. But like you're saying, we were talking off air before, we need to start getting at least one or two more in, don't we, lads? You know.
Yeah, definitely. I want to go
get him in, because if not, the clown master is coming on next week.
Let's speak to Lee in Chatterton. Lee, you okay, mate?
Hi, yeah. How are you?
No, I'm very well. We want to talk about, obviously, the summer transfer window is open. United need to get made do business soon because the big guns are doing it rapid. You want us to sign a big star this summer, is that right?
Yeah, but I just don't think anyone's available at this moment in time. But I never.
Oh, you want to just turn YouTube off in your background if you're watching us on there, mate, just so I can hear that. Carry on, sorry.
Yeah, so what it is, I never saw Pogba come in, never saw Lukaku come in. I think we'll make a big signing because we're the biggest club in the world, but I just feel it's make or break with Mourinho and stuff.
What position, Lee?
He's got one more chance.
What position would you like that marquee signing to be
definitely
in?
Left back. I want Sandro. I don't know why we've not done it yet.
There's talk of the kid from Madrid, the Brazilian kid, what's he called?
I'm not even sure.
The kid, Joe, the left back with the Brazilian kid from Madrid, my head's gone blank.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't know who you're talking about, Webby. I think you're making it up.
Marcello, he's put
Marcello.
He's put a picture on Instagram with Ronaldo, and he said, "I will see you very, very soon."
Yeah,
my good friend. So obviously, if he goes there, then obviously we can get Sandro to us, who's a great player.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I just go against what Sam said a bit. I understand his treatment of Shaw, but Luke Shaw, if he doesn't run the games, it can be as good as anybody in the world.
It can.
And he's been slaughtered by the manager. Some things have gone over the top.
Ashley Young there next season. He's been good at wing back, but I think we need a decent left back. When you think about Danny Rose, I don't know, Kieran Trippier, right.
So for your marquee signing, Lee, is that the position you would go for?
My marquee signing would be the guy from Lazio. Because I think when Pogba got injured last season, between October and November, that's when we dropped. City took over. They've signed Mahrez. Is it Mahrez? The winger. They don't even need him. That Jorginho's going to Chelsea.
Record signing, by the way, as well.
It's unbelievable.
No, we said City are only going to get bigger and better. And we've got to close that gap, Sam. You know what I mean? They're going to sign two. They've got one in already. Broke their record. But buy someone else.
We need to be sensible.
We need to like 3 or 4 to actually get anywhere near them.
Lee, when you think of like Galactico signings, you think of quite attacking players. Is there anyone attacking out there in a midfield role, a winger or striker? I
think there was someone saying on your channel, Mbappe or Neymar go to Real Madrid, right? Then PSG will look for one. They'll go for Martial, and then we'll get William from Chelsea, probably. But Barcelona just put a bid in today.
Barcelona put a bid in for William today.
Yeah. And supposedly the centre-back for Colombia is supposed to go in for Everton so they can free up some space. Is it European rules where they want a player to come in, but they can't get because he's got 5 defenders now. So it's like a circle thing. So if Everton buy someone, I'm scared William might go to Barcelona and then might not have anyone.
William, would you take William Webby?
All day long.
All day long.
I don't know.
It's something what we've been missing. Me and Sam spoke before.
Yeah.
Something we've been missing since the Moyes day is that people who are going to run at him and take him on. Now, if you look at William, up till last year, he was Chelsea's player of the season. Obviously, Conte had a bit of a fallout with him. Never played him hardly. I'd take him all day long.
The thing, the way I look at it is, if Lukaku can hit 25 goals with no service, what's he gonna be like with service? That's the way I look at it.
Lee, thank you very much for calling the Excess Manchester Football Social. Get your opinions in now. We're going to Atil. Are you okay, mate?
Hi, Paul. You all right?
I'm very well on the same sort of agenda as people you want to bring into Old Trafford. Who's the big signing you want to see United making?
A big signing that I'd like to see is Gareth Bale.
Gareth Bale to Old Trafford?
What happened?
Gareth Bale to Old Trafford. I'd actually go out and buy a shirt.
I don't think he's injury prone.
No. I think he'd be he is injury prone, don't get me wrong, but I think he'd be a quality acquisition to the current squad, because if you look at Sanchez and Martial, Rashford, they're all like left-sided wingers, so we need someone on that right-hand side, because obviously last season, don't get me wrong, we were good, but obviously on that right-hand side I felt that we were lacking.
More than anything I want this year is an out-and-out winger.
Yeah.
Do you know what? We made a right, not us as people in here, but Mr. Edward the Clown Woodward, was messing about over £5 million for the kid Perisic. Absolutely world-class player.
I know. Yeah.
And we've seen what he did last night. We've seen what he done for Inter Milan last season. Now that 48 million, which they was going to take, now he's in the finals, probably going to be 80 or 90, and someone will buy him because he takes players on, Sam, and he whips the ball. Imagine him with Lukaku. It'd be 40 goals.
Lukaku needs, because what we were talking about, if you watch the World Cup,
I felt so sorry for him.
Lukaku didn't get the service he deserved.
Wouldn't pass to him, Hazard and De Bruyne. It was like their personal competition. It was in oceans. It would have been top goal scorer.
But look how good he is in the Brazil game when things were centred around him. Hopefully we make the most out of Lukaku this summer as well. Adil, any dead wood you want to see get rid of Old Trafford?
Yeah, there's Deadwood, but I had a couple more signings. So there's Bale, there's Sandro, and also there is Milinkovic-Savic.
You don't want a lot, son, do you?
No,
Woodward's will be listening now. His heart will be pounded in his counting room.
I mean, it'd be nice. It'd be a good signing.
But we'd need those three to catch it.
Yeah, do you know what it is? And you'd have to put a lot of money aside.
We've got the money. Yeah. That's the worst thing about it. We can outbid any team and any club in the world. Now let's spend that money.
Let's spend that money. Teal, thank you very much. Callum, are you okay, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Evening, Callum.
Callum,
right, Cal.
are you talking about Bale as well? Callum, you think he'd be a good signing for United?
Yeah and no. A bit of both, really, because obviously everyone knows about his injuries and price tag that comes with it. But given what he can do and everything, if he can stay fit, then he's good enough for anyone.
Sorry, Callum, but if you look at it, obviously the Ronaldo deal, that was put that towards a fee. Surely if we signed a big worlding and the Deezers are coming, could they get the money back off the shirts and all the other things? So I reckon I'd love to see Bale at Old Trafford. I wouldn't like the best thing about it now is we've obviously Ronaldo going. They've got money in the bank. Madrid always buy a world beater every year.
Yeah. They've lost one as well.
In my eyes, the money's irrelevant. In my eyes, the money's irrelevant. You need to buy the player who's going to be there all the season, not injury prone.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much he costs. If we're only going to get half a season out of him, it's pointless.
True. And also, anyone else that catches your attention, Eddie, that you want to see maybe joining the tour, joining United come start the season?
I mean, obviously at left back, but again, it's last season. I mean, we saw flashes of Shaw, and every time we saw him, he didn't really do much wrong. It looks like, given a few games, given a good run of games, he could be one at best in league. And at such a young age and so much potential to go forward without having to spend money on him.
I think this is a massive few months for Luke Shaw. With a tour, stays fit. He looked fit the other day after seeing those pictures in the paper when he looked like me. You know, so he's got to do it. We've got the potential. I like what Sam said before about the criticism. I thought it was well over the top. That was a very, very bad leg break he got in PSV.
Yeah.
Now, if he can come back for that, You know, we've got one of the best left backs in the country.
We've got 2 players also returning from loan, sort of grabbing our attentions. Obviously, there'll be more, but Fosu-Mensah and Pereira are back. We'd love to know if you watched him in the Liga, Pereira, and what you made of him. Will he have an impact in United starting 11? Fosu-Mensah, we kept a close eye on when he was out and about, and he looked like a decent player.
My mate at Palace said he was superb when he first went there. Now, where would you play him? Originally, he's a defensive midfield player at centre half. I thought he did great at right back, and then he gave the penalty away against Everton. And then for some reason, under Van Gaal, we never seen him, and he said he was injured. Great player.
Player.
But obviously, we bought the kid from Portugal, so where does he fit in?
Oh, who knows? We're going to go to Eddie. Eddie, you okay, mate?
Evening, Eddie.
All right, Ed.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Eddie, what do you want to talk about today?
What I think the main thing I feel we need is I don't feel we need a marquee signing. I think we just need to kind of utilise the players that we actually that we have at our disposal. We have obviously a lot of incredible attackers. We've got Sanchez, Lukaku, Martial as well. I feel we need to utilise them more.
If we utilise the players we have, how do you make them cross the ball? Because none of them can cross the ball at the moment.
I feel they can, but I feel it's Mourinho's tactics is what he's not setting up the tactics right. Pretty much, he's playing usually 3 out front. I feel if he kind of experiments with the tactics more. These are professional footballers. They know how to cross the ball. Like Martial, Rashford, they know how to cross the ball. They just need to.
So, what do you think the problem is then, Eddie?
Pardon?
What do you think the problem is then? Why is it that we can't seem to cross the ball? Do they need Mourinho to tell them to do it? Can they not think for themselves?
No, of course they think for themselves, but I feel that Mourinho doesn't. The type of football he plays is more pragmatic and it's more counter-attacking football. I feel he needs to kind of just change up the tactics a little bit more, experiment, different formations. And I feel that I feel it could work. I feel he just needs to be more experimentative. He needs to, just try and play around with the tactics a bit more.
How would you make the most out of Lukaku then, Eddie? Because that's what we need to do, make the most out of Lukaku, because that man is a world beater on his day, and that man is a United player. Let's make the most of him. How do you think Mourinho can look at that?
Well, I feel like he needs to, not only does he need to play Lukaku and try and, we do need players to try and cross it into him, to Lukaku, to be more effective in the air. But I also feel that Mourinho needs to kind of, maybe use Rashford a little bit more, or Martial a bit more up front, rather than just leaving Lukaku on for the whole match. I feel he's not, Lukaku is a bit, if you leave him on for too long, I feel, sometimes he's one-dimensional. We have players that can to do a bit more than what Lukaku can do. Martial, he can run, he can do something out of the blue. I feel Lukaku is just one-dimensional. Just if you don't feed him service, then he ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna do anything out of the blue. So I feel Mourinho needs to kind of use Martial and Rashford a bit more.
Now, there's one name that I want to bring to you, Sam. Eddie, thank you very much for your call. Rashford, he had spells of the World Cup. He obviously came on, played the game against Belgium, however, and he did okay. Do you see him, progressing more in this season coming up?
I think he's gone backwards since we got Sanchez.
And that was the risk United were taking, though, weren't they?
Yeah. It's game time. With Marcus, it's game time. It's no good bringing him on for 30 minutes towards the end of this match to try and change it when it's all gone pear-shaped. It needs game time, but then again, everybody needs game time, don't they? But we can only have 11.
It looks like me, Rashford was a kid. It looks like now, in the United shirt, the kid what first started off from the youth, That, like you're saying, I think he has gone backwards, but if you look at his game, did England play at Ellen Road or something when he scored that
Leeds,
goal?
Yeah, he's worldie.
And he, not so much a goal, it was his all-round performance. The papers are raving about him, and I'm thinking he's got to get a start, and he doesn't go against. So, as a young kid, does that affect his confidence? He needs to run the games. He needs to be playing.
The thing with Rashford, I don't think he's one of these lads that would be affected by confidence. He's one of these lads who can just like that switch a game
Easy as that.
Just as easy as that.
Got to get excited about the fact that United will soon be back in action. The World Cup will be over on Sunday. The US Tour is going to kick off. And Deji, you want to talk about the US Tour?
Yeah. So for the US Tour, it's going to be fun to watch because obviously we're going to have no Pogba and Lukaku for most of it. So it'll be good to see how we play with our main players.
Do you think Pogba could be a World Cup winner? Do you think that it will give him the boost? The confidence winning a World Cup. Well, a smile will be on his face.
It will be, but I just hope it doesn't affect our season come November, come December. If he does become tired, but that's the thing we've got to be ready for. Players to step to the mark when play, because these players are going to get tired at some point in the season. We've got to have players in the background who are going to step in. He likes a Fred, maybe Fellaini for the odd 2 or 3 games. He won't let you down. He's not the greatest, but he won't let you down. He gives 100%. So let's see. But obviously, going about the tour, Sam, I just think that it's a great chance for some of these young kids to make a mark.
It is a great chance. But then again, you see, it's to everybody else. It's to the Americans. It's not a friendly. To everybody else, it's just let's put the lads through the paces. Let's get fit. So I never place anything on European tours. Mm-hmm. Or should I say world tours?
World tour, we will. Jay, Pogba, going back to him, how much of a confidence boost will the World Cup be if he wins it?
I think if he wins, it'll be a great boost for him because following all the criticism he's got this season, coming back to Old Trafford with the winners' medal, I think he'll be a new player next season, and I think he'll become more consistent because we've seen that he can perform consistently over the World Cup, so he can take that to the Premier League next season as well.
I mean, it would be one of the first times in a while that a United player would have returned with a World Cup medal. Germany last week, I don't think we had any players in the German squad. Spain 2010, I can't quite remember, but that's going to be 8 years then since a player has returned with a World Cup medal. It'll be interesting to see.
I'll tell you, they'll be upset if France do win it and Paul has a good game. Mr. Graham Souness.
Mr. Graham Souness.
He's absolutely losing the plot. He played that game against Argentina and he come out the next day and he said, "You need to drop him. You can't trust him. He run the game." Absolutely run the game.
Cameron, you with the Full-Time Devils takeover with Sam and Webby. What do you want to say, mate?
All right, Cameron.
Hi, boys. Yeah, boys. Just wanted to talk about the defence. Everyone's talking about, big marquee signing up front. I feel like last year we got 2. We got Lukaku and we got Sanchez in January. Look at our defence.
Made of glass.
It's diabolical. That's being kind to it. Who would you go out and get? Who's out there? What do you boys think? What do you boys think about the defence?
Maguire.
Who do you think, Callum?
Would you get Maguire, Sam?
Well, I can't understand how Ed missed Maguire and Trippier for 16 million for
You've
the
got to look that Maguire is currently sitting in front of Phil Jones and Chris Smalling because Phil Jones didn't get in the...
Me and Sam are sitting in front of them too.
But yet we've still got them in our squad. Maybe it's a chance we spend some money because you don't just like Harry Maguire's
it's not so much that,
player.
It's so much... I remember we played Hull in the 2 games in the semi-final and I come out in both games. Man of the match both games.
And he stood out then.
Man of the match both games.
Maguire.
And I'm thinking, well, Leicester's took a bid at him. What did he pay? 16 million. Let's have it right. Somebody's going to go in for him.
For me, Harry Maguire is a typical Steve Bruce type defender. He'll put his head. He'll put his head where Bruce won't.
That's the way it's going to
look. Of course, you're right. Because City were looking at him.
Also, he's English as well because you've got to fit quotas now.
He's English as well. So I just think instead of going out and spending £150 million on a striker, put some money into the defence. Build from the back. We've already got the front line sorted.
Do you know what, Cameron? If we get a centre half to go with Bailey, we get a right-sided midfield player, and we got Maguire, I'd be happy as a pig in muck.
And I will as well, and I'll be there singing. But anyway, nice one, boys.
Nice one,
mate. Catch you later, pal.
I thought I was going to get a song then.
Anyway, here's one I wrote earlier. Cam, you're on the Full-Time Devils takeover, mate. What do you want to say?
I do, lads.
All right, Cam.
Yeah, I was just saying, this talk about Bale and that. I don't want him at United because of the price. And like your man said, I think we're going to get 1 out of 3 games of him. But what about Neymar? Because I think, Martial, I think he holds the key for us signing a big player because I think we're going to PX him. Because like you said before, obviously he's got to go out the door now because he don't want to stay. But would you have Neymar? Do you think he's too weak?
How much would you spend on Neymar?
Would you seriously think Neymar would come? Rainy Manchester?
But it's better than PSG.
Yeah, you're probably right there.
Would it take Neymar? Because you'd
have to spend a lot of money to get
if you look at Neymar, you look at him, the kid was at Barcelona with a front three, he had obviously with Messi and Sanchez, unbelievable. He goes into that French league, it's like the Gorton Sunday League. You know, hard games. So he's coming to this World Cup off a big injury, not played, and I don't think he was great. You know, we all expect him to light up the tournament.
Unfortunately, because of who we are, and because of our history, if you was to get a player like Neymar, you would get a stupid circus everywhere he went, which was exactly what we used to get with Ronaldo, which distracts.
You tweeted something, did you, Webby? Was this you about the number 7?
It was just a train tweet because I was bored.
Oh, right,
That's all it was.
What was it? He said that the number 7 shirt will be free next season.
Because Sanchez has got a number 10 as a train tweet, Sam. The next thing, I'm getting absolutely slaughtered.
He wants to start rumours.
Was that a train tweet? You could have told me that was a train tweet.
I was on my way to see my Vicky on the train.
He's in the know.
And that was it, you know.
So is it not?
No, it'll be number 7.
Right, never
Sanchez
mind.
will be number 7.
I'm saying perfect. We're getting Neymar in at number 7. Anyone else, Cam, that you think? We mentioned the Cameron just before said he needs to focus on the defence more than the attacking options. Do you think we should spend money in that area?
Oh yeah, 100%. We definitely need a world-class centre-back. We've always had good centre-backs, always. And like you said, like now, I don't really rate Maguire. I'm not going to... I know that a lot of people might have a different opinion on that. I think he's slow, but like you said, he's getting ahead of Phil Jones.
Stevie Bruce was slow.
Yeah, well, it is a Premiership's changed now since 1993. We've got Steve Bruce, legend.
Right.
Not trying to put him down at all legend. But it has changed.
Looking at the centre halves in the world, listen, everybody's available. Everybody has got a price tag. We've seen that. Who would you go for? Who would you like to play centre half for Manchester United Football Club?
Uttometi, you know the guy who scored for Frankfurt tonight?
Yes,
City, Hopefully say his name.
Top name as well.
Top name, top dance.
Top name.
Top name, yes. Umtiti.
Samuel Umtiti.
Would you get Umtiti?
I'd get Umtiti.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll probably get a titty.
You want some titty?
Cam, thank you very much for your call.
Cheers,
We're going to go to Ian. Ian, you okay, mate?
Hello, gents.
Oh, Ian, you fell over then for a second.
Hello,
Ian, I can say on your notes here, I've got written down, United are 1 loss away from crisis.
It's very true, isn't it? We saw it last season with both our fans and the players and the manager himself. We're tanking along at some points during the season. We look good. We're winning 4-0 at the early part of the season and then 1 defeat and off we go. And I think there's some issues surrounding that. I think that's... Yeah, the fans need to get behind the club, maybe a little bit more in some respects and not be so nervous about it. But my concern is this for Mourinho, if it doesn't start well for him, if he's not 15 points clear come Christmas, everybody's going to be complaining and that's just going to be a bigger pressure for the club.
I mean, gents, Sam?
Yeah, valid point. Very good valid point. I don't think he'll last till Christmas, me, personally, if City get away to... If you look at City's first 7 fixtures, they should get 21 points.
They did last year, didn't they? So we get 19.
You know what I mean? So we could already be playing catch-up. Everybody else, the other 19 teams could be all playing catch-up just after 7 games. That will be the telling time for Mourinho.
What do you think will happen, gents, with that?
I honestly think if he doesn't get his target, which he's put to Mr. the Clown, Woodward, we start off bad, and we're going exactly the same what Sam said. I think he could.
I certainly don't think he'll be here this time next season, regardless of whatever we do next season.
Win or lose.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be
not
here.
necessarily out the door, but
I just don't think he'll be here next season. That's just my opinion. After the season.
I've said it last year. I think if we don't get a good start, we don't get the players in which he wants, not what the fans want, which he wants. And we do start because, like Sam said, City's first 7 games are very, very winnable, and we're playing catch-up again. I think that his head could go and he could walk.
It's surprising that we're in a place in Manchester now where if you look out the side of our building, you can actually see where Mourinho is living for the last 2 years at the Lowry Hotel. And you wonder, a 3rd year, 4th year, it's a long time to stay in a hotel. But he's committed himself to United. He must enjoy it there. He must enjoy United's
got his own floor, he's got his own chef. Happy days.
You would. What do you think, Ian? If he's come to that point of the season, do you think Mourinho's going to be a United manager still?
I would hope that I don't want to say lessen expectations, but I would hope that us guys are sensible about it coming into this season, that we're aware that we're a decent distance behind City, that the Premier League is incredibly competitive.
I think we've all sussed that.
But yeah, this is it, isn't it? You know, if we finish second next year and we improve on this year's performance, then great. You know, that's going to be tough in itself. So I'd just like to see the United fans perhaps be a little bit more stable going through some of these tricky parts of the season.
we all sat there last season saying Pep's this, Pep's that, Pep's a fraud, all waiting for the bubble to burst. But at the end of the day, the proper football fans that follow United could see it was the best football by a country mile.
And that's it, isn't it? And it's important to remember that and to stick behind the guys and get behind Mourinho as well and let him do his job. He's had some difficult points last season. He's had points with Martial, he's had points with Pogba. He's had difficult integrating them into a fully hard-working side. We also lack players. You know, we've got Smalling and Jones at the back who are two calamities waiting to happen every week. There's holes all over the squad. You know, I'm not saying that that's bad. That there's some big problems with the squad because there isn't. Mourinho, what he achieved last season, I think was absolutely excellent. I think given the right players and given it perhaps a bit more time and maybe a little bit more grace from the fans, I think he did do a decent job for us. And I was not one of the people who wanted Mourinho in, by the way.
Join the club. Do you think it does the players' confidence? Do you think it does the players' confidence any good at all when he goes out in public and personally slates them?
I think there's an issue today with the modern football of maybe being a little bit of a snowflake. I think that some of these lads need to book their ideas up. You know, Martial, if he's telling you to work back into the left-back spot and do some work, it's going to be good for you. Pogba, a midfield's basic job, track your man. It's simple stuff. It's Sunday League stuff. You have to track your man. You can't turn up and stroll around and say, my haircut's great, do the work for me. It don't work like that. You know, and when those players step up and do that, I think Mourinho will be getting what he wants from those players.
Top man, Ian.
And I think we have to leave it at that.
Good phone call there, Ian. Well done, son.
Calling there, mate, and thank you very much for calling. Have a good night, Ian.
Cheers,
mate. You guys, top work.
Right, and that is it, gents. Ian stole the show there at the end. We just want to let you know that continue doing this on Thursday. You've not missed your opportunity. Make sure you set your alarms for next week. Come on, give us a bell and have a chat with us. Sam, thank you very much.
I'd like to say a big shout out to my mate back in Everton, Paul Devin.
Yes.
Up the Toffees.
Yes.
Up the Toffees. Webby, thank you very much.
See you soon, Joe.
And make sure you subscribe to Full Time Devils and we get back next Thursday and give us a call. Thank you very much.
Good night.
Bye.